guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. Halloween edition.
Yes.
It's been a rough week, actually, for me. You know, the Walking Dead Season 7 premiere finally aired this past Sunday. Now, you're not a big Walking Dead fan.
I'm still on season 2.
But
I've been on season 2 for about like a year.
But for those of you that are, you know, into the show, season 6 left with a really strong cliffhanger with Negan, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Spoiler! I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, you didn't even see it anyway. Smashing the hell out of somebody with a baseball bat. Lucille. But nobody ever knew what it was. There was like so many guesses and all that. Well, finally, the season 7 premiere. Let the world know. Let the world know who died. I won't tell you who died. Anyway, it was highly anticipated. It hit 17 million viewers.
Okay.
Giving an 8.4 rating in the Nielsen's, beating the 5-point rating that the NFL had.
I was about to say, isn't that better than football?
It beat football. That's how anticipated this was. Everybody really wanted to see this show. Now, The Walking Dead for me, it's a freaking emotional roller coaster. There are times where I can't even freaking take this damn show, and that happened Sunday. The content of it was very brutal, very hardcore, and just emotionally draining. Some of the scenes of violence were very, like I said, very brutal. It took it to a whole nother freaking level.
Well, I mean, you're in basic cable, so you can do a little bit more than what you would do on like network stuff. So look at Netflix, how kind of far they go.
Yeah, especially with language. Just a lot of F-bombs in freaking in Netflix. But anyway, so we had some favorites that were eliminated. I won't tell you who since you haven't seen it yet. And
is that old lady still on the show?
No, that lady, that's gone.
Is that old man still on the show?
That old man's gone too.
Is the black guy still on the show? Is the black guy still on the show?
Nope, the black guy's gone too.
I'm done then. I ain't watching.
But they're gonna introduce a new.
I get a new black guy.
A new black guy
that they were gonna kill.
And he's gonna say, "Damn, that is whack." Anyway, critics actually blew it up, man. They were like calling it appalling and really just turning it off, like, you know, laying it on them, actually, I should say, just going off about the episode. It was ridiculous. And then there were some fans that were bothered by it too, and they agreed with me, saying that it was emotionally draining and it was too much, too far, and like as far as the violence. And some have even threatened to not watch it anymore. So who knows? All I can tell you is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, perfect casting as Negan. It was a great episode. As far as emotion is concerned, that show is all about the writing. I'm telling you right now. Now, you're a big Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm pretty sure that there's been scenes on the Game of Thrones that have kind of...
Yeah, there was actually... there's a perfect example. There was a scene where Sansa, she got married to one of the villains in there, and on their wedding night, she basically got raped on wedding night, and people... threatened to not watch the show because they were like, why would you show that? But like, why did they pick out, just because you like that one character, why would you pick that out as a scene that you're like, oh, that's too far, when all the other stuff they show on Game of Thrones?
Exactly.
And I was gonna say with The Walking Dead, it's a zombie show. The whole premise is brutal.
Yes, exactly.
The whole premise is like, oh, you gotta shoot him in the head. That's cool. But everything, this one episode was too far. I want to know what the line is when he was like, oh, you were good when it was just head explosions, and, people getting mutilated and zombies ripping people apart. Because I did see that one episode when the dude got his stomach ripped out. I was like, y'all are cool with that. What crossed him over the line that was too much?
Well, much like Suicide Squad, when you were talking about how they were shooting things that were not human.
Yeah, because that's how they kept their PG-13 rating.
Exactly, but then you go and you put it into actual human beings being slaughtered like
so
that.
So zombies, you don't care. It's like, oh, you're a zombie, too bad.
Zombies are considered monsters, like you said. You said that in the past show.
Okay.
Zombies are considered monsters, so therefore the monsters, there's no, there's no holdback. You do whatever you need to them. Okay. Human beings, that's a different story. But anyway, yeah, you're right. It's a little hypocritical, but regardless, the episode is, it was just episode 1 of the new season, so look for the rest of the season to play out pretty freaking good. I don't know exactly how much more shocking they can make it, but these are really gifted writers. So
they had to. I know they got it. You've seen so much stuff. They had to do something to shock you. So
yeah, they shocked the hell out of me, seriously. All right, on lighter news, the box office. We had a new number 1. We were talking about it last week, and we were talking about how Jack Reacharound was going to try to reach for that number 1.
Don't tell me you got number 1.
It did not get number one,
right.
but neither did The Accountant, because Medea's Halloween is the number one movie in America.
What is wrong with you, America?
With $28 million.
America. Aren't we done?
No.
I mean, come on. We're done with Final Destination films. We're done with Saw films. We're done with
Saw's coming back.
How many Madea films do we really need? How many Madea films do we have a Madea Easter yet? Do we have a Madea July 4th? It's like, can we get her and Bruce Willis to go do a Die Hard together?
I want Madea versus Trump. Give me that. Madea versus Trump. That's the next one.
There you go. Madea Election Day.
There you go. Yeah,
It's probably gonna be a real thing.
Yes, it is. Number 2 was Jack Reacher with 22 million. One of your
low for Tom Cruise.
Yes, it is. One of your you gave a pretty decent review for Ouija, didn't you?
Yeah.
Go check it out.
It was an okay film. It had the third act of the film. It kind of lost it, but the first 2 acts were pretty good. Just not enough happened.
Well, check it out anyway. His review is online. But anyway, Ouija was 14 million. Number 3, The Accountant slipped to number 4 with 13 million, but it has grossed 47 million so far in its theatrical run. Girl on a Train.
Girl on a Train.
was number 5 with 7 million, 58 total. Not too bad. Box office was up 17% from last year, and with this week coming up, look for being Halloween weekend. Look for Madea and Ouija to actually spike up in numbers.
Please don't.
Hallelujah!
Oh God, save me. This is.
Yeah, so I think Tyler Perry's I think he's gonna have some pretty solid numbers in the sophomore run here. Inferno, Da Vinci Code 3 will also be coming out with Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks is in a pretty good role right now. You know, he did Sully, and that's pretty much the top film of the fall box office for 1. 2, he had a really successful hosting gig on Saturday Night Live. Hilarious episode of Saturday Night Live with Tom Hanks, and now he's doing Inferno. So that
broke his captain streak.
Yeah, that's true. So that looks to be opening at about between 20 and 30 million. It's already grossed 94 million overseas though. So
really
already a hit. Yeah. That's the fall box office. That's the only one that's opening up. And with the Comic-Con this weekend,
yeah,
San Antonio is going to be pretty slow with the movies. I'll say that right now.
Well, also too, overseas in this weekend is Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, I think so. No, is it? Yeah, I think it might be.
This weekend is Doctor Strange overseas.
Oh, hell, that means Blu-rays are ready.
Yeah.
Blu-rays this weekend.
The reviews are already coming out on it, too. It's
they call it Iron Man, but weird.
Okay, that's not what I was going to say. It was like, this thing is, it was funny. It's like, because when they were first doing the reviews, I think they had like 30-something reviews in it. When they first did the reviews, they had like 20-something reviews, and it was 100% fresh. And then after that, it's like somebody was like, oh, I'm not going to do this movie fresh, just so they could do some. Then it knocked down to like 97%. But I mean, everybody seems to like this movie. I can't wait to see it. The only thing they said is that it's going to blow your mind with visuals. But I think it's just now everybody's just falling on board with that. It's like, oh, the villains are stupid in Marvel. And they said that the villain, while better than other villains, because everybody keeps pointing out Thor Dark World, that this villain was still kind of left. But it's a movie about Doctor Strange, it's not a movie about the villain.
Except for the villain in Blade 2, still the best villain.
Really?
Yes, I told you that in the last.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think that's
the best.
Oh, the Blade series.
No.
Over Eric Frost?
Why do I? Deacon Frost.
Eric, whatever. Over Deacon Frost? Why did I say Eric?
What the hell's his name? I always forget his name. The lead vampire on Blade 2.
I don't know. He led the Reavers.
Yes. The leader of the Reapers. What's his name?
The Reapers. I got all these names.
It's not Nomak. I said that last week that it was Nomak, and that's not his name. Nomak. That's not his name. No.
Oh.
It's not Ermac.
It's the guy who looked kind of like the Nosferatu vampire, but different.
Man. Anyway, well, that's a friggin' he's the best one, man. I think he's the best villain on there.
Of all time?
Oh, no. In the Marvel universe right now,
okay.
He's better than Red Skull.
Really?
To me, he was the most threatening out of all of them. Out of all of them, if you really think about it,
Red Skull kind of led to Nazis and stuff.
But he's the most.
He threatened the whole race.
He was gonna
He was gonna take over the world.
Yeah, but he was eating vampires. And he was going to start eating humans after that.
Remember,
creating a freaking Reaper army.
We don't care about monsters.
We don't care about monsters.
He didn't eat any people, so we're good.
Oh, man.
Wow, Red Skull was torturing people.
Speaking of Marvel, we got some new trailers that just came out last week, and they were awesome trailers. I mean, you know, you had a teaser, and I'm talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy teaser trailer. It just looks like it still has the exact essence of the original. The effects look great. I mean, the whole scene between Drax and Star-Lord.
That was the best.
That was hilarious.
That was the best. And they seem like he's become a little bit more, but he's gotten a little bit better and a little bit more comfortable on screen after doing so many films so far. Because his character was wooden in the first one, and it was kind of they did that on purpose because of his limited acting skills, but now it just seemed like he seemed more comfortable. It seemed like he was on with his lines and the punchlines and stuff like that. So I was like, oh wow, I'm actually interested in really seeing how well Batista does in this movie.
Well, how his character does too, because I mean, you got to remember that in the first one he pretty much got his vengeance, I guess, in a way. So now he
has to go after Thanos.
Now he's with right, but now he's with he's already established his relationship with these the four others. So I mean, that's actually helps his character a little bit. So yeah, you can see how he's loosening up a lighter tone in him. So it's going to be pretty interesting how that goes. But I thought the last scene. The last shot with Rocket and Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The toy sales is all I thought. I was like, man, they're gonna make a crap load of money on the toy sales.
Yeah, but even Chris Pratt too. I mean, he looked the part. It looks like he's got some upgrades going on in his costume and stuff. So that's pretty cool. The other trailer is Logan.
Yes.
Man, that trailer is just I've seen it like 4 times already. It is freaking. Well, I saw it actually 4 times when it first came out because it would just look so cool. And when you put in the music, the Johnny Cash music, I mean, it pretty much sets the tone of what this movie is gonna be about. It's very Mad Max. I got a lot of Mad Max in there
because they're trying to do the old Logan vibe.
Yep. We got to see X-23. Okay, and. This one is a little bit more it is R-rated.
Yes,
this is the first one besides Deadpool, but I'm talking about like for Hugh Jackman. This is the first R-rated film for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We talked about it once before about as far as it being the same kind of violence as the Origins.
What do you mean?
Do you remember the Origins game?
How they really
how it was like, and that was like really, really brutal. This is not necessarily like that, even though they did show a scene where the claws go up the guy's head. That was pretty crazy.
I'm assuming that they actually showed us that scene. One was kind of quell the fans, and it's like, look, it's rated R. Don't give us a bunch of crap. But I think that they're gonna push it so much to really earn that rated R one. I think we're gonna see a lot of brutal things. So all you Walking Dead fans, you guys might want to skip this movie. Some people gonna get hurt in this movie.
Well, the thing when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at this tone. It's the way they're gonna use the R rating. It looks to be a little bit different than the way Deadpool used the R rating.
Yeah, they're going for violence. He went from like raunchy humor.
Right, exactly. It was, but it had some good violence in Deadpool also. But this also, Logan goes more into a very serious tone. It looks like it looks like a far different X-Men movie.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Which leads me to it's like I don't really understand it. Like, how far in the future is this?
And I'll tell you right now. Well, first, it's like I said, it does tend to look more serious. The Book of Eli comes to mind.
Yeah, it does. It looks a lot like the Book of Eli.
It reminds me a lot of the Book of Eli. It seems
like if the guy who's on the Book of Eli is a producer on this film, or he is helping with cinematics, because this movie looked exactly like, at least the trailer looked a lot like Book of Eli. But there is, I'm glad they went to Logan and didn't call it Old Logan or anything else.
Old Man Logan?
Old Man Logan. I'm glad they didn't do that because it's so different as far as with characters. It seemed like they, like you said, they want to keep the tone and some sorts, but it's way different. But like I was saying before, where does this take place? Because he's saying there's no more mutants. So we're looking far in the future. But then now we introduce X-23. So how are we going to work her back once he's gone?
Well, how this works is, from what I read, is the government is actually trying to produce their own because mutants are not being born anymore. So I guess maybe they're creating their own, I guess. I'm not too sure. This does take place 2024. That's when this takes place in the year
2024.
In the year 2024. So this is so a couple of decades past.
Are we gonna time jump the cast of Days of Future Past in First Class and say that it's like, oh look, it's been 30 years, but yet they look like it's only been 2.
Exactly.
It's only been 2 years.
And you know that's and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's frustrated a lot of people, because the timeline are all screwed up, and just like Ryan Reynolds said in there, these timelines are confusing, and still to this day, because Apocalypse was all over the place. I didn't know who was I know it's supposed to be in the 80s, but this it was weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, and why does Fassbender still look the same from the 60s?
Yeah.
But anyway,
he ages well. That Magneto.
But so 2024, decades after Days of Future Past, most of the mutants are gone, and now they have a weapon. X-23. So I think that's what Boyd Holbrook's character is going for the X-23. I'm not too sure if that's the whole cause of him.
More likely.
Who knows?
But like I said, it's so different from Old Man Logan, that story. So I'm just going to accept it as what it is and not think too much about that story. So
I think the smart thing about it is, one, it's I'm trying not to put Deadpool in this, but it's actually, it really is the first X-Men R-rated film. So to set that apart, I think it was very smart of them to give it its own identity and just call it Logan. There is no X-Men Origins, there is no X anything that revolves around that. It is just called Logan, and that's it. I think that was a smart way to
no
go.
Wolverine.
Yeah, not even Wolverine, nothing. They don't even call him that in the.
Well, I don't think anybody really said words in there besides the claws through the head, type deal.
No. Well, Patrick Stewart, says, she's like you.
Yeah.
But and then the first little pieces of dialogue was, what did you do, or something like that. But he calls him by Logan.
Man,
now
if they do that from Old Man Logan, that's gonna be crazy. I don't know. Are you familiar with Old Man Logan?
I've read some of it, not all of it. No.
Okay. Spoiler alert. I'll put it up here now. He kills all the X-Men.
Who does?
Wolverine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go that route, though.
And it's like, so when he said there's more mutants, I was like, did you kill them? Are you doing that in this movie? Because that would be rated R.
With all this time has passed, Logan is obviously aged, so now he's starting to lose his healing abilities and some of his mutant powers. So Mangold, the director, what's his first name? Jeffrey?
Sure.
I think his name's Jeffrey. Mangold. No, Peter Jackson Mangold. The director released some stills of Hugh Jackman, and he's all scarred up from his battles and stuff. So it just shows that he's already lost some of the healing. He hasn't lost it completely, but the healing is already starting to fade now with age.
Well, now they can explain the whole marrow thing, and from Wolverine and taking his healing factor. That would make sense. It would tie better to what they had already established, since he got most of his healing factor taken away from him with the Silver Samurai. Then they can say this is the outcome of it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So look for Logan to be released in March of 2017. I can't freaking wait for that movie. That's gonna be freaking awesome. Sticking with X-Men, we just talked about Deadpool.
Yeah.
Horrible news, man. Director Tim Miller has been axed. He's gone. He quit.
I don't know how to feel about this.
He quit. He is not in it. It sucks. Supposedly it was over the casting of Kyle Chandler as Deadpool, but in reality they're talking about scripts, because Tim Miller wanted to make Deadpool 2 for double or triple the price of the first Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds did not want to do that. He wanted to keep it simple and maybe add a little bit more because of the cable factor, but other than that, keep it more or less true to what the original was.
And then also
very smart
he wanted
on his
to
part
do more
too.
of an action film and focus more on the action. And Ryan Reynolds wanted to stay with what they had already set up, with keep it okay, there is action, but it's still more about the humor and the raunchiness of the
because that's what
film.
Deadpool is.
Exactly. So he wanted to go more action or make it more of a spectacle, and Ryan Reynolds was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I kind of understand where Ryan Reynolds was coming from, and plus I didn't really want Kyle Chandler as Cable.
Mel Gibson.
No.
Stephen Lang.
Yes. So it's one of those things, though, is do you really want your star, having that much control in a movie? And for most movies, I would say no, but he did a lot to get this franchise off the ground. So you kind of want to give him what he wants. So I kind of hope that this doesn't backfire to where we see when it comes down, you're like, ooh, I wish you had gone the other route.
Well, you do have the same writers from the original Deadpool. Plus, you haven't lost Ryan Reynolds. So, when it comes to filling that director's void, there has been a petition put up on change.org.
This is stupid.
1,035 signatures have been received for Quentin Tarantino to direct Deadpool 2.
No.
That is a very dialogue-oriented person.
Yeah,
I don't see
there will
him.
be nothing happening in this movie. There'll be one fight scene that'll happen at the end, and then all the way up to we'll be talking about that one fight scene till we get to the end.
Yeah. So I'd rather, I mean, from a director of action, if he makes it a little more like Kill Bill as far as action sequences are concerned, I think Quentin Tarantino will be awesome as Deadpool director. But he cannot get in the way of the writing and the script and all that other stuff, because the majority of Tarantino's movies are written by him.
Yeah.
This one is not. So he's just directing somebody else's words. So I think he can do it. I think he'd be great to do it.
Tarantino wouldn't do it. The only one that he wanted to do was Luke Cage. He had come out and said that. Like, they asked him, and it's like, if you did a superhero movie, which one do you find interesting?
I can totally see.
He wanted to do Luke Cage. He said he grew up, reading that comic. That character spoke to him. He wanted to do it. Netflix did it, and they hired their own director. They couldn't afford Quentin Tarantino anyway on Netflix budget, but that was the one he wanted to do. I don't think there was anything else he'd be interested in to do, and I damn sure doesn't think Deadpool would be something that he'd be interested in doing.
That would be interesting though, because a lot of Deadpool's, like as far as his action, it's a lot like Kill Bill, and I think that if he, integrated a lot of his action sequences from a lot of his movies.
Still, even
Django, I mean, that would.
Even though it had a lot of action in it, it was really, in each movie there was really 2 big action scenes, and that was really it.
In what?
In each Kill Bill part.
Ah, that's true. Wasn't that one of your that was one of our favorite fight scenes?
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Finally, Batman news. We close it off.
Yay, Batman!
We're done with Batman. We don't want to talk about Batman anymore. So this is the last one I'm going to do for a long time.
Until no new Batman news comes out.
No,
talk about it again.
Script is still being written. Ben Affleck is still writing it, but Joe Manganiello has
dude who has a hot wife.
Yeah, they do start shooting in spring. While they're doing promotion for The Accountant, both Ben Affleck and Anna Kendrick were talking about it, where she's actually dressed up as Robin to pitch her as Batgirl.
They're messing with the fans.
Yeah, because Marvel wants her as Squirrel Girl or whatever.
That would be funny.
And she wants to be Robin. I think that'd be kind of cool actually.
I think I'd go for that as Squirrel Girl. Now, she'd have to beef up a little bit, but
yeah, just a little bit. But this is hilarious for me. And we were talking about The Walking Dead and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan. Well, those two played the parents, Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. Why'd you say that name? So, they played that in Batman vs. Superman. Well, Adam West has come out saying that he wants to play Thomas Wayne in the Batman Solo.
Oh, man, that'd be amazing! It would stand out too much, but it would be amazing!
But you can't. Now, if they would have said that he was going to play Alfred or something, not even Alfred, or just somebody completely different, it would be awesome. Adam West needs to be in the new Batman, but he cannot be Thomas Wayne. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was Thomas Wayne.
Can we stop doing Thomas Wayne in Batman films, by the way? Can we just stop that? But it would be amazing! It would be amazing!
Adam West has just completed Return of the Cape Crusaders, an animated feature that was released in theaters with Burt Ward reprising their voices as Batman. Their roles as Batman and Robin with their voices. Well, it did actually fairly well, so they've greenlit a sequel to that, so he'll be coming back as Batman pretty soon. So
I still gotta get around and seeing that film.
That's it! No more Batman news!
Until the next piece of Batman news comes up and we talk about that too. But as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and be here for our other videos.
And for you guys, just have a safe Halloween. Have some fun.
Stay away from clowns.
Stay away from clowns, and clowns, stay away from Batman. You'll be okay. For Aspen on the couch, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence. Say hi. Bye, Aspen.
That was the goose.
All right. Is that really a ghost movie? I guess it's a ghost movie.
What, ghost?
Amityville.
It is a ghost movie. It's haunted.
But I guess it's more. I thought it was more of a possession movie.
That's part 2.
Amityville 2: The Possession. I was always wondering why they called it that.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. So box office
Right.
started out pretty good for The Accountant.
Started from the bottom, now it's here.
No, it's starting.
It started at the top and stayed there.
Starting at the,
That's awesome.
we're gonna do that again.
Oh, I love that.
We're gonna do that again.